Well, my phone died when I was doing my last video, and I ended up having to pack and stuff the next day, and we headed out on our trip to camp on the way home. And so now I'm back here. It's been about a week. So this started off as my 33 week. Now it's like my 34 week, moving into my 35 week. I'll separate the two and I'll do week like 35, 36 together. So this will be 33, 34, something like that. So I'm just going to wrap up what was happening there. We had an amazing last couple of days in Idaho, and then we headed out and we stopped in Zion on the way home and stayed at this little camping spot, and it was really hot, but it was great. It was beautiful. And our trip home was, nice and uneventful. It was beautiful scenery, and we listened to the new Taylor Swift album, Folklore, which was so good, over and over again. And I have to say, we got home, the day that we got home, we did a lot of unpacking and spent the next few days unpacking, and then I don't think I've slept better in a very long time than I did when I was actually at home in my own bed. And you know how they say, like, there's no place like home? Well, I definitely felt that. And it's funny, just during this time, your body wants to nest, and you want to start, washing baby clothes and blankets and, things like that. So when I left you last, I was talking to you about how I didn't know what position my baby was in, but I had been doing all this spinning babies yoga. I had been working out and doing a workout routine a lot, and it was great. But I did start to feel like there was some tightening happening in my, lower abdomen, which means that I was strengthening and trying to keep up with my very fit husband. And then, my wonderful doula, Sonia, reminded me that this is the time to stay soft and open. And I was like, yeah, you know what, you're right. Like, I do see all these women who work out so much while they're pregnant and they look so fit, but for me, for my body, the way that my body works during birth, like, I really need to stay open and soft. And my midwife really exaggerated that when I was pregnant with my first, and she told me, to stop walking up hills and stuff like that, just because I was getting so strong in my lower abdomen, and that's not good for natural birth. So I ended up doing spinning babies yoga, which is a lot of opening, the daily essentials. It's you're doing lunges, and there's like a squat you do for where you're just like sitting all the way down in a squat for like 2 minutes, and there's just a lot of stretching, and it doesn't feel like a workout. It really feels like you're trying to open up. And I felt a lot of changes in my body once I started doing that, and it was kind of amazing. Like, I felt pressure in different places, and the baby was moving a lot, and I was like, wow, this is actually making some space for me and working. So I just continued to do it, and anytime I would start to feel pressure in a weird place, I would do that spinning babies yoga. So I got back and immediately had a doctor's appointment to see my doctor to check in after the couple of months that we've been gone. And the baby is head down. Yay! And, oh, I just heard Esme scream. I think Wyatt just scared her. So baby's head down. She's in really the same position that my other two were in. And I keep saying she, but it's she or he or whatever. Baby is in the same position as my other two. Head down, her back is along the right side of my belly. She's kicking me on the left side of my belly. And it's, sometimes I can feel her kind of, wedge their head into my right leg, and then I get this sort of nerve pain. Esme, please. So the baby is putting pressure, weight against my right leg, which is sending like a pain down the front of my leg, which is great. But what's wonderful about that is, well, I guess nothing, but what you can do is actually do a lot of the movements that you learn in Spinning Babies yoga to immediately makes it go away. So I usually drop down into like a forward lunge or like a squat position, and it kind of helps baby negotiate its head out of that area. So it was such a relief when I saw on the ultrasound the positioning that it wasn't transverse anymore. I had been feeling a head over on one side, feet on the other. I thought it kind of feels like this baby's gonna be a little smaller maybe than Esme, but I don't know, we'll see. Definitely measuring like 2 weeks ahead, so in the 90 something percentile, which is pretty typical for me. So we'll see. It's such a, I've said this 1,000 times, but it's such an interesting time. So I've been talking to my doctor about, what it's going to be like at the hospital. And I kind of made a joke with him about coming to my house instead. And then I don't know, with third baby, it's like so funny, but my body and my brain keeps telling me that, baby's coming like soon, like sooner than 5 weeks or whatever. So I don't know. It's like I just want to get everything done. I want to pack my bag, my hospital bag, and I started putting all the clothes away, and I just got really, really busy taking care of everything right when we first got home, because that's just where my brain had been sort of all summer, is that I have wanted to just get everything set up. So it's amazing how our bodies and our brains kind of put us in that place and get us ready. And then we've been talking a lot. Sonia, my doula, has been talking to me a lot about doing, the first 40 days at home in bed. A little bit easier to do during the time of quarantine. But I think that's what we're gonna work on. And during postpartum, I'll definitely be talking a lot about that and what that is like and feels like and everything. So, we've been prepping my kids for that, and I've had a lot of problems with DR, diastasis recti. And so part of what I didn't know, and I had never heard this before, but it makes perfect sense, is that in the first 40 days, when your body, when your organs are trying to get back into place, your body really should be laying down in bed. And if your body's laying down in bed, then your organs can kind of go back to where they need to be. If you're standing up and walking around a lot, then your organs are sort of falling forward and down. And if you already have issues with DR, then that opening that's there keeps getting pushed more and more by your organs, right? Because it doesn't have anything to hold it back. So I found that to be makes so much sense, very, very logical. And it's hard for me to stay put for a couple of weeks. But I'm gonna try that because I would really love to try to heal my body properly this time. And I did so much work during pregnancy just on sort of bringing that muscle back together. So we'll see. But I go again in a week to see the doctor, and we're going to talk a little bit more about hospital preparation during COVID times. I have like 5 questions written down to ask him, just so that I can feel a little bit more prepared, especially if she or he comes early. So we'll see, and I'll keep you updated. But for now, that's it. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye.